someone. May your hammer be mighty. I gotta find these questions. I'm like so busy over the next couple weeks, going places and seeing people and tattooing. I've got 4 tattoos tomorrow, which is crazy. Like, very excited about that. Very happy that I have a full day of tattooing. It's really great. So, I guess I can't focus on my beanie very well, can it? My poor camera. It's fine. Okay, I'm looking for, way back when I did a poll, and I asked the people what they wanted to hear about. Here we go. I found it. I found the poll and I found the answers. Wow, I'm a mess. I really need to clean my house. Or at least organize some stuff. Jeez Louise. I wonder who the first person was that said geez to a person named Louise and went, oh my gosh, that's a good one. Because I say that all the time. Jeez Louise. Oh, geez Louise. I don't even know who Louise is. Whatever. Oh, hello Patreon. I'm drinking mate. I love mate. Need it. It's early. It's actually Thursday. I am filming and editing and posting this podcast today. So, pretty exciting stuff, huh? Have you guys ever tried mate? I know some of you know what mate is. Some of you do not. This is a mate cup that Sierra sent me. Thank you, Sierra. I sound kind of sick, but not really. Oh, guys, I'm going on a cattle drive, and I got some new boots. Look at these bad boys. Huh? Look at these bad boys. Look at those. They've already been out in the dirt and the poop and everything. Very excited about that. It's been a long time since I've had a pair of boots. So, like cowboy boots. I obviously wear boots all the time, but got my cowboy boots. I should have been a cowboy. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Education 101. I am your host for today's episode. My name is Kate. Welcome to the podcast. Doom, 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 doom. Intro music. I was way off key. I love that little intro jingle though. I found it randomly because I pay for like non-copyrighted music, and that's where I found it. And it really just kind of popped out to me. Gotta get mine. Get yours. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can stop you. Be unstoppable. Plus I thought I had like a cool little beat, little beat, little melody. It's a nice little piece of intro music. I felt like it was very fitting. Anyway, welcome back to another podcast episode. Thank you guys for listening. This podcast is brought to you by Patreon. My Patreon subscribers. Fabulous crew, as far as I can tell. Still need to do one-on-ones with everybody that is on the one-on-one with Kate tier. So that's probably going to be sporadic. Just for those of you who are subscribed to the Patreon at that level, it's going to be messy, me trying to pin down like a time to do that. Oh my gosh. It's also 5:00 in the morning. It's 5:00 in the morning on Thursday. So I got busy doing stuff last night. Didn't have time to record. I really should record these. I need to get ahead of my schedule because I'm going to be, like I said, all over the place. So maybe I'll record another one tonight. Anyway, today's podcast episode is an exciting one for me, a fun one, I guess. About a month ago, I did a poll on my Instagram, a question thing. And I was just like, what topics do you want to hear about? This is another one of those. Nicole, who I've known for years, hello, Nicole. Thank you for listening to my podcast. My mom said she saw you the other day and said that you listened to all my podcasts. I just really appreciate that. So thank you. Means a lot. Anyway, Nicole's comment of what she wanted to hear about on the podcast was what is the most exciting thing about being gay or a lesbian or queer or however you want to, throw a label, and not hetero. What's the most exciting thing about not being heterosexual? Slay, queen, the gay men. That's the most exciting thing. They're so fun. I'm just playing. Well, actually, no, I'm not. That's true. And I will stand by that until the day I die. Gay men are so fun. When I went to Moab the other weekend, my favorite gay couple and like the only gay male couple that I actually am familiar with, I think, Jeremiah and Ian. Oh my gosh, they are so much fun. It was such a good time with them. My goodness. Anyway, I'm obviously not gay for the gay men. But they do make incredible friends and they're so much fun. So keep that in mind. But I was thinking about a question, and because I know a lot of my podcast is about the hard stuff and the coming out and the fear of being, shamed or disowned or cast out, if you will, which I think is beneficial. And I think it's been beneficial for a lot of you based on, the messages that I've received. There's a lot of you that have reached out and just to say that, a lot of my story resonates with you, and the difficulty of admitting your sexuality to yourself and then to the people that you care about, and wondering how they're going to react and what does this mean for me, in the long run, on an eternal perspective. A lot of you that are religious, and I know a lot of you that listen are also not religious, and I really am just very appreciative that you listen, honestly. I try to not make this podcast solely about religion, but since that is where most of my experience lies, that tends to be a lot of what I talk about and a lot of what I touch on. I also feel like oh, my camera's freaking out. I also feel like the group of religious / Christian / spiritual group of gay people is bigger than I thought it was, but also at the same time, it's just a weird group that doesn't seem to fit in. Too gay for the Christians, too gay for the Christians, and too Christian for the gays. Sometimes is how it feels, which is fine, but there is that aspect of it. So that's usually my demographic of people who listen to this podcast. But if that's not you and you still listen, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate it. It's really nice of you. Anyway, like I said, I tried to not make this solely about religion. I know that most of my podcasts have been pretty vulnerable and pretty heavy, I guess would be a word. A lot of difficult topics we've covered thus far, and a handful of fun things, I feel like I need to, man, my camera's freaking out. I need to up my ISO for a second. Give me just a second, you guys. Okay, hopefully that's better. My camera is having a really hard time focusing on my face. I think just because it's dark literally everywhere. Anyway, so we've been touching on a lot of topics that have been really difficult, that probably aren't super. I mean, I try to be encouraging even when I talk about the difficult things, but you guys know that I also am take your time. don't rush coming out. If you're not ready to come out yet, or tell people, that you're gay, then don't do it yet. You're not obligated to reveal that information to literally anyone. Man, my camera. Hold on. Okay, good. Really sorry about that, everybody. I try to be as encouraging as I can while also trying to let you guys know that you can take your time. Okay? Coming out of the closet. Gosh dang it. My camera is freaking out. You can take your time coming out. Not a big deal. I'm going to get so mad with this video. Patreon people, I'm really sorry that my focus is all over the place, but my camera is just not having it today for some reason. So I'm sorry. Anyway, I think that's why I picked Nicole's question. Is it focuses less on the really difficult stuff and more on something that I maybe don't really touch on. And that is, the exciting part of coming out, stepping into that part of yourself that you've kind of kept a secret for a long time, or that you've not admitted to for a long time, and the exciting parts about that, the good parts, the parts that you go, oh my gosh, this is so different and it's better and I love it. And I think that for me, there's a couple things. First and foremost, the exciting part about coming out and being, open about my sexuality and dating women and being comfortable with dating women is that I don't feel like there's something wrong with me anymore. And I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense. What I mean is, when I was dating men, I had a lot of self-esteem issues. I had a fairly poor self-image. I'm not conventionally attractive, especially for Utah County. I was living in Utah County, and there is definitely a look for the women of Utah County, and it is not me. Anyway, so dating men, I never really viewed myself as particularly attractive. I didn't go on a lot of dates. I didn't get asked out on many dates, and I remember being so frustrated for years. This was post-mission, so after I came home from serving my religious mission, I felt like I was doing all the right things. I was, going to church, and I was teaching Sunday school, teaching lessons, doing all the right things, and I felt like there was a part of me that felt like I was a catch. I've always been fairly confident in who I am and my ability to care about somebody and love somebody, and but I was never I was never anybody's first pick, it seemed, which was frustrating. I dated guys. There were a couple of guys that I dated after my mission who I thought were really great. They were really great guys. Things didn't work out though. And I always figured that was just a me thing. I felt like I wasn't interested in them for X reason. And that was enough for me to be yeah, this isn't going to work out, which maybe I guess then kind of negates the whole, I never really went on dates. I did. I can think of a couple guys that I dated briefly or went on dates with. But like there was never really any, there was never, and this is like, again, this is like looking back from where I'm at now, looking back on the relationships that I had with men and kind of comparing those now with the relationships that I've had with women, and recognizing that there wasn't the same level of excitement or obsession or like head over heels. Like there was never a guy that I was like smitten by or like totally head over heels for. There was never a like, oh my gosh, this person I'm obsessed with. Like I am obsessed with this person. And maybe that sounds a little freaky, but like, you know what I'm talking about? Like I always thought that I just like, it wasn't the right guy maybe. And that's why I wasn't feeling all of the feelings of like the butterflies and the, oh my gosh, like I think about this person all the time and like I want to be with them all the time. Like I sometimes found myself getting annoyed in relationships with men. I was like, I can't do this. I don't have time for this. I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I'm wasting his time. Like it's just not, this just isn't it. And like maybe it's just not the right guy. So I just need to date a different guy. But then I would jump back into dating. Kind of, not really, because I didn't really go on dates. I really didn't get asked out, you know? And I just always thought that was like a me thing because I wasn't attractive enough. Like, yeah, I was smart. I was independent. I was confident. But like, it always came back with me to this self-image. Like, I was not attractive enough to be going out with men. Like they just were not interested in me. That's how I felt. And then when I would get into relationships, like I just said, there wasn't this excitement and the like giddiness of like, oh my gosh, like I really like this person really likes me. Like this is crazy. How did this happen? Like, wow, this is insane. That changed when I started dating women. I just never had felt the same feelings with men. Like I remember very specifically like every first kiss with a girl that I've dated. Every single one. Can't say the same about the guys that I've dated, honestly. Which, no offense, guys that I've dated, you're all great human beings. I'm just gay. Like I just like women. So that's something that's been really, really just fascinating for me and exciting, is going from like not really dating a lot, not having a lot of opportunities for dating, not feeling like I had any kind of connection with the people that I was dating, to suddenly being attractive to people that I was also very attracted to, you know? And feeling all of the exciting feelings that I had heard my friends talk about. Like that's the thing too, is like it never made sense to me. My friends would be like, oh my gosh, like this is how I feel. And I would just be like, wow, you are like, this is crazy. Like that you feel this way about this human being, because that is not a feeling that I have really ever felt before until I started dating women. Now I get it. When I get into a relationship with a lady, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am so lucky and I just want to talk to this person all the time and hang out with them all the time and hold their hand all the time. And I want people to know, like, this is the person that I am dating. Look at them. Wow. Incredible. That's a recent thing too. It wasn't that way with my first relationship. It's not that the feelings weren't there. It's that I was scared to express those feelings because I was still a little terrified of coming out. Doesn't mean that the feelings weren't there. They were. But I just didn't know how to navigate that Like I didn't know how to navigate the being excited with the fear of people being like, ew, you're gay, you know? Anyway, so that's kind of changed a little bit over the last year and a half, 2 years, is allowing myself to be excited about a person that I care about a lot. Realizing that I can feel the in love, butterflies, super excited feelings that I just thought I didn't have because I was dating the wrong dude. Turns out I was dating the wrong gender. So that's something that has been very, very exciting for me. It's just interesting to step into that new world of like, you thought something was wrong with you because the way you felt in your relationships wasn't the same as everybody else. And then I started dating women and went, oh my gosh, this is what they're all talking about. Like this obsessing over your person and just wanting to be there and wanting to just help them however you can and wanting to just like make sure that they're okay and everything's fine and that they have everything they need and like texting them to see if they drank water that day. Are you staying hydrated? Did you eat? Like I'm that person in a relationship with women, not with dudes, but with women. Any excuse to talk to somebody that I'm dating, I'm like, I'll do it. Any excuse. Literally, it doesn't matter. I will text them. If I am dating you, I'll text you the dumbest thing just to be able to text you. And I hope that you like text me back or you call me or like call you about the most random thing. And I didn't ever do that with guys. But with the ladies, I'm like, oh man, I just want to talk to this person so much. So that's something that's been really exciting is recognizing that there is not something wrong with me. I just was not dating the right group. It's been really fun. The other thing I think that has been, it has been really fun. That and having this new sort of confidence. Like I said, I've always been a fairly confident person in like my capability, the things that I'm able to accomplish, my ability to get things done, my ability to set goals, achieve goals. Disclaimer, this has not been recent. The last few weeks I have been like, man, I am a fixer-upper. I need some help, okay? But generally, I know that if I need to get something finished, I will do it, right? Like I'm very confident in the fact that I have skills and talents and abilities that will get me through life. That is where my confidence lies. I know that I can interact with people. I enjoy people. I like talking to people. I'm very confident in my ability to build relationships, to relate to people. But in terms of romance, I was never particularly confident with the fellas. That has definitely changed, though, with women. And I think it's because I think TikTok has had a lot to do with that. Because the amount of thirsty comments, you guys, on the TikTok, I cannot. And that's not to say that I think that I'm like a 12 out of 10. But it's been refreshing to realize that I am a good-looking human, I guess. Like I said, I had a pretty poor self-image for a really long time. And then when I started dating women and women actually wanted to date me, I was like, wow, like these people actually like they find me attractive. That was really exciting because I went from like being a 5 on the straight scale to being like a 9 on the gay scale. And that was really interesting. And I really enjoyed it. So, I think a lot of that has to do, I think a lot of that aspect of it too has to do with, I think I've always had like a more like masculine sort of build, like a more athletic kind of build. Like I'm a bigger person, 5'8", 180 pounds. Like your girl keeps it beefy. You guys ever watch Chris D'Elia? He said that in like a TikTok video once. He was like, your boy keeps it beefy. And that line has stuck with me for so long. So your girl keeps it beefy? Like I'm a big kid, you know? And that's always made me kind of a little insecure, being like a larger human. Because I'm like, oh, like all these guys want all these little petite ladies, and that is not me, you know? And so now being my athletic, powerlifting, muscle building self, which I enjoy doing, turns out gay women also really like that, which is good for me, you know? Kind of fun. I don't know. I think there's probably more to it, but when I think about the thing that's most exciting about coming out and like starting to date women and be confident in my sexuality, that's what comes to the forefront of my mind, is that there's not something wrong with me. I didn't fall in love, or I wasn't head over heels for men, and that's okay. Doesn't mean that I'm not capable of falling in love or being like head over heels obsessed with a person, which, I mean, initially in the initial phases of dating, you know, if you fall super hard and super fast, there's a good chance you're a baby gay. Like falling really hard, really fast in love with a woman, you're definitely a baby gay. That is probably the best indicator of how baby of a gay you are, is if you fall in love in the first like 3 dates, first couple weeks, like congratulations, you were a baby gay. But it's just so exciting. And I think that's why the baby gays fall in love so fast, is because you go from not really being excited about relationships or romance to suddenly being so just like swept off your feet with these feelings that you haven't had before, you know, to that degree. I'm not to say there weren't ever any butterflies when I dated men, but like not the kind of butterflies that I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot even contain my excitement about this, which is how I felt with women. So nice to know that there's not something totally wrong with me. The confidence boost has been really interesting. The recognizing in myself that I can fall in love and be in love and be swept off my feet and head over heels and obsessed and all the things that people always talked about that I never felt about men. I do have those feelings. They are there. They're just there for women, because your girl is a homosexual. So, anyway, that is something that I think when you come out and you kind of step, you know, if you're, I don't know what the word is, bi-curious, if you're questioning, if you wonder like, maybe I'm attracted to women. If you've already been thinking that, there's a good indicator that maybe you're gay. But I don't know how to coach you through starting to date women, because it's really hard. Trying to meet women is really difficult. Trying to get to know, I guess it depends on where you live, right? And online really helps out with the getting to know gay women. So there's that. But if you are a person that's like, man, maybe I am attracted to women and that's why this stuff with men isn't working out, I would encourage you to try to date women just to see. You might find that your feelings aren't broken. It's just that you're gay. And that's okay, you know? Just don't fall super hard, super fast, baby gays, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. Oof. But I mean, that's how you I think you level up out of the baby gay phases, when you realize like, okay, I need to not fall in love in 6 hours. Or like when you cling to a relationship, that's a baby gay thing too. Like if you break up and you're like constantly hoping that you get back together for months on end, that's definitely a baby gay thing for sure. But it's okay. Anyway, that's something that's exciting for those of you who are questioning whether or not you should come out and really embrace, your sexuality. It is exciting to start dating women and go, oh my gosh, I can fall in love. It's a beautiful thing. So think about it. Again, don't rush your coming out. I'm not saying to rush coming out. I'm just telling you that there are some really fascinating discoveries outside of the closet. Really fascinating discoveries about yourself. So something to keep in mind. Anyway, I hope you all have a fabulous day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. We might be a little on and off over the next few weeks. Like I said, I'm going to try and record a few episodes and get ahead. But I'm kind of everywhere the next few weeks. I'm in Chicago next week. If you're listening from Chicago, send me a message on Instagram. Let's get together. We might do a meet and greet there in Chicago on Sunday. Chicago, then I come back, and then I'm in Moab for a few days, and then I go from Moab to the airport to fly to Florida, and then I'm in Florida for a week. So things are a little crazy. I'm going to try and stay consistent on the podcast, uploading them. It just might be a little difficult. So thank you for your patience with me. If you can, check out the Patreon. Check out the merch website, babygaymerch.com. I need to make some podcast related merchandise. So that'll be in the works once I get the tattoo stuff up and running. But thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope you get everything you want out of today. Good things, hard things. If you're in a rough spot, just know things get better. Okay? Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next episode.